Okay, hopefully you can hear me. So, this is my UPS, and it stopped working. It exploded. Well, there was a big bang and a puff of smoke, and it stopped working. Now, the reason it stopped working, I found, was a spider had crawled in somehow and got to this point here, which is the bridge rectifier. So this is the mains. Is it the mains? Yes, it's the mains coming in. So let me just shaky cam you. So the mains coming in. Let's see if I can hold this with the little thing. There we go. So the mains coming in. Here it is here, coming in, and goes into these diodes just about there. Okay, so there's two diodes there, and then just below that there are two more diodes in the opposite way. So the way that the bridge rectifier works, so there's the damage that the spider did. Put a hole into the board. That's actually a divot there. The camera won't focus. Yeah, so let me just put that there for a sec. That's better. So yeah, so knocked a hole through the board. When it exploded, it bridged the bridge rectifier. Ha ha. So to repair this, what I'm going to have to do is, well, what I'm going to do is replace the diodes. So I have some equivalent diodes that I just happen to have laying around. Hopefully they're equivalent. And then and repair the track, because where it's exploded, the copper's come off as well. So that's it. So I'll record what I can. It's not that interesting, but it's something, I suppose. The camera, I'm just going to move it across here and twist it a bit. Oh, it's getting a bit hot because it's sitting on top of the soldering iron. Probably not the best place for a camera. Anyway, it's just a webcam. It's just a webcam. My actual camera's down here, but I'm not going to bother plugging it in and setting it all up because I'm in the middle of moving things around. So how am I going to do this? Well, I have soldering iron. I have some pin-nosed pliers. I've got some solder, some Maplin solder. It's shit. It really is. The stuff is like, I don't know, it's like Play-Doh. I'm always complaining about it, but I've got so much of it. You know, they were shutting down, so I just bought up loads, and didn't keep them open by buying it though, did it? And then the stuff is like Play-Doh. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 1, 2 diodes there, and then 1, 2 diodes there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover them. Oh, I should have got my solder sucker. And I'm learning very quickly, gravity is not good. So, oh, and there it goes, straight onto my glass table, which has cooled it down instantly, so it actually didn't do any damage. Right, let's try this again. Yeah, what I should be doing is doing this on its back. So this is a bit silly. Oh, I'm doing that thing where I put my hand in the camera as well. Right, so there we go. So that's all nice and warm. And the same with this, just put a bit of solder in, a bit of solder there. It's not that old really. This is maybe about 3 or 4 years old, this UPS. So I mean, it is time for the battery to be replaced, because they're only meant to run them for 3 years, and then replace the battery. I can't get the solder off the end of the tip. I can't get my tip clean. Right, so that's that. What I need is my solder sucker, so now I'm going to have to go adventuring and find that now, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, managed to find my solder sucker. So that took a while. So this is now much later. Let's I'll turn the soldering iron back on. Just need to loosen up this solder a bit. So the way I'm going to do that is, so this is the solder sucker if you've not seen it before, and what you do is you press down on the plunger, you heat up the solder, put the thing on the end, and then suck and it sucks out the solder into the cylinder. You then push it and it pushes it out, and that's it. Nice and easy. That's a mechanical one. You can get electric ones. I don't have an electric one. They're called solder stations normally. Anyway, so this is the full wave bridge rectifier, and what it does is it takes the sine wave coming in from the mains, so the sine wave coming in, and when there's a positive sine coming across here, of course from there, it allows the positive energy to go through, and then when there's a negative sine wave from the other side of the sine, it then goes onto this side. So you've got two diodes in opposite directions going to the positive and negative output of the bridge rectifier, and then it's called a full wave bridge rectifier because there's four diodes, so all four will be doing something at some point through that wave. And then it goes on to this capacitor here. It's just a very big capacitor, 10 farad capacitor there, 450 volt, because of the mains voltage. So this is direct mains here, and this is looks like it's probably some kind of fuse going across between here and here to get onto here, then to the full wave rectifier, then through the smooth capacitor, and then through, looks like maybe some kind of voltage regulator or something, and then to the rest of the electronics. And that's it. So nice and easy. So all we're going to do is that extra solder that I put on. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it off again. And you say, well, why did you put it on if you're just going to take it off? And the reason being is it just loosens it up. So by having the solder a bit looser, it makes it easier to get off. There we go, and you see it's, well, you can't see very clearly what I'm doing because it's only a crappy camera, but what that's done is that's see what I'm doing, it's got less solder on here now, so it would be easier to move the pin once I've finished. Okay, so let's see if I can get around here. It's a bit difficult with the camera like this. You need one of those overhead deals with all the zoomies and everything else. But right, if you find that your soldering iron's not working, give it a clean. Because what happens is that it oxidizes on the end of the tip, which then stops the heat transferring. Oops. You see, the solder is not. Oh, there you go. Now it's melting. So, right, let's try again. You have to get the tip on the solder, the solder sucker on the tip. There we go. That's a bit better. Actually, saw it go up then. That was pretty cool because of this funny angle that I'm working at. Normally it's a lot quicker and easier than this. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on removing it all. But I'm going to do it off camera because I can't quite reach, and then I'll come back once I've removed them. So to remove them, what I'm going to be doing is just using some pin nose pliers at the back, hold on to the diode and whip it out, clean the hole, and then get ready to stick in the new ones. So there you go, see you in a sec. Okay, so I've got them off, and you can see that the board is an absolute wreck. Where the spider was, when it exploded, it put this hole into the copper. So it must have stepped across the mains there and whack, and took the capacitance back with it probably from the big capacitor behind there. So it's blown a hole. It nearly goes all the way through in the circuit board, and all of the copper that used to be here has gone away with it. And actually, it's all bent up at the top there. It's actually curled up, so it must have been a hell of a whack. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed the new diodes in, making sure they're in the right polarity. And the way that you can tell the polarity is on the back here there's a big capacitor, and this top rail is the negative rail and the bottom rail is the positive rail. And the way that the diodes work is they point in the direction that they go. So you see there's like a little silver line. See the silver line at the bottom of that that diode there? That tells you which side is the positive. So so this, to get the negative up here, it would be that the line would be on that side to make it negative, and then the positive then goes down to the second rail, so then you have it the other way around, and then that's your half wave rectified there, and then you do the same again at the bottom, and then you've got your full wave rectified, and that's it. So I'm going to put those in, and how am I going to deal with the copper? Well, these diodes have big long leads, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the leads over so they you know, join the circuit. Okay, so let's give that a go and see what happens. Okay, so that's it now repaired. It looks a mess, but it's really not. It's just large amounts of solder, and then the cable from the diode, and you can see clearly now where the hole is that got generated by the spider exploding. Sorry, the camera's upside down, so I'm having trouble. Let me move it around like that. Yeah, so it's quite a deep hole, but yeah. So this is the where is it there? This is the two endpoints of the diode. That's the mains coming in. This is the other mains coming in, and the two ends of the other diodes, and then just behind, just behind here and here is the points of the capacitor that does the smoothing. So let's plug it in and see if it works. Oh, FYI, if you don't know what you're doing, don't touch this stuff. It's dangerous. Yeah. Okay, so moment of truth. It's plugged in now. I do have this actually going through another UPS. So it's a UPS into a UPS, which probably you shouldn't do. I don't know about how the detection works with the sine wave and going back and forth from that. I've got a surge protector here with a switch, so I can power it on, and if there's a big surge, then hopefully this will kick in if anything goes wrong, and well, let's just see what happens. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, the lights on there. Okay, so to use one of these, you press the button on the front and contact. Ha! Well, there you go. I would say that that is a failure. Now, on the back of this thing, on the back, oh, there is. Let's move my coffee somewhere. Gosh, running out of space. There's a big red button. There's a big red button. It says reset. So do I have to press that in and it holds it maybe? Let's find out. So in goes the power. Switch is already on, that was stupid. And now the reset button. Okay, nothing. Button on front. They beep when they work. And okay, this may have done more damage than I thought, because it's not working. It's not working. Right, better get the voltage tester out and see if we can find out where the problem is. Okay. Well, I've found one other thing that may be an issue. So this is where the mains comes in. These live and neutral. This is that reset device, and you press the button on it and it resets it. But what I've noticed while just inspecting the wires, as you do, is this is not actually connected. It's just sort of hanging. So I don't know if that is a reason why it's not working. It was tucked in and just floating, sort of like that, just hanging there. So I'm going to solder it on, get the soldering iron out again, and see if that makes any difference. Well, that's the end of that. I managed to let out the magic smoke and put the house into darkness. So, like I say, if you don't know what you're doing, don't touch it, because, well, it might just blow up.